There's almost a sense of poetry when you look at this thick steel plate, as your fist becomes a perfect cylinder. What we're seeing now is Polska, one of the top engineering companies in Central Europe, working their magic on a 120mm thick steel plate, 3 meters wide, and which will become a cylinder with a diameter of 1,400 millimeters. For those who remember when heavy industry was the backbone of American manufacturing, this is the spirit of craftsmanship that built the world. We know this process starts with a plate rolling machine. Let me tell you, this Italian-made marvel is the pinnacle of metalworking equipment. Faxin has been perfecting this craft since 1946, shortly after the Second World War, as Europe was rebuilding. Reliable machines were needed to shape modern infrastructure. This machine uses the 3-roll pyramid principle, which has been the standard for heavy plate rolling since the Industrial Revolution. And the precision we see would amaze the craftsmen of that era. How this wonderful process unfolds: the steel plate is preheated to reduce brittleness, and placed in a triangular configuration of 3 giant cylindrical rolls. The 2 bottom rollers are the drive core, operating synchronously, pushing the steel plate forward, while the top roller can be hydraulically adjusted to millimeter precision, applying downward pressure to form a curved surface, just like rolling dough. Except this dough weighs several tons and can support an entire building. Operators work in front of a spaceship-like computer control panel, entering the required diameter and thickness parameters. The machine's precision sensors continuously monitor the bending radius, adjusted in real time by hundreds of hydraulic cylinders. Amazingly, despite the immense forces, Falcon still achieves the Swiss watchmaker's proud standards. The steel plate passes through the rollers multiple times, bending more each time, approaching a perfect cylindrical shape. This gradual method avoids stress cracking, ensuring uniform curvature along the whole length. As the steel plate begins to deform, the physical principles are clearly visible. The outer surface of the bend is stretched, while the inner surface is compressed, and the metal flows like solidified honey, maintaining structural integrity while forming a new shape. Falcon's pre-bending function is particularly ingenious, automatically crimping the edges of the steel plate before the main curling, removing the planar imperfections of older methods. In the 50s and 60s, what this machine does in one forming op used to need multiple processes and several machines. Now, we are witnessing this coherent, carefully orchestrated process that takes nearly an hour, yet it yields durable results. World of CF. You are entering tradition, dating back to the blacksmiths of ancient Rome. Today, the hammers we use make even Thors look like toys. The operation of CMFS is particularly fascinating, because it combines raw power with surgical precision. We are witnessing the forging of components weighing 250 tons. The whole process begins with a long preparation before hammering. New ingots from the steel mills, slowly heated in a gas furnace to approximately 2,200 degrees Fahrenheit. This is not a hasty process, depending on the size. Heating takes 8 to 24 hours. When the steel reaches the optimal forging temperature, it emits an unmistakable orange glow. This means it is ready to be shaped. The real dance begins with massive manipulators, equivalent to industrial robotic arms, precisely rotating and positioning multi-ton components with extraordinary precision. Move the workpiece to the forging press. CF uses hydraulic presses and mechanical hammers. Decisions depend on the task requirements. Hydraulic pressing is slow. It applies continuous pressure, ensuring the force penetrates deep into the core of the workpiece, eliminating internal voids or flaws. Mechanical hammers, on the other hand, strike quickly to shape the surface and form specific shapes. Master forgers hone their skills over decades, orchestrating the interplay of heat and pressure with each strike or press. The workpiece is rotated, repositioned, and even reheated. This is called open die forging because, unlike closed die processes, which press metal into a specific mold, craftsmen shape the metal through repeated strikes and pressure, gradually guiding its formation. Each impact optimizes the grain structure,
resulting in steel with far superior strength and reliability compared to casting or machining. Provides a new perspective on the art of forging.
For the 21st century,
this northeastern Italian company specializes in large, forged components for key industries.
The nuclear sector, oil and gas, and heavy industrial applications. Their forging presses. Some of their equipment can apply forces exceeding 8,000 tons.
They work with precision heating to ensure precise temperature control.
Temperature control is absolutely critical. If the billet is overheated here, it results in a coarse-grained structure, weakening performance. If it's too cool, there's a risk of cracking.
This golden ratio state needs to be constantly monitored.
Workpieces will undergo controlled cooling and possible reheating cycles.
This thermal cycling and machining gives forgings excellent performance.
Metal grain structure flows naturally along the part's contours, like a grain in a carved piece of wood, forming natural strength in the direction of the stress lines. This is not merely a manufacturing process,
but creating critical components that can serve for over 50 years.
When forging parts for power plants, turbines, or deep-sea drilling equipment, we are pursuing permanence.
This echoes the philosophy of medieval European master builders.
We see a completely different standard of precision
in front of the UVF 112N machine by LaFamme.
Here's where traditional craftsmanship meets space-age technology, refined.
This Polish company,
shortages of materials and capitalist competition,
eventually become masters of the craft.
The process begins by placing a blank, a forged or cast wheel blank, onto the machine's rotary table. This rotary table is several meters in diameter,
even at high speeds.
Vibration is also extremely small.
Special fixtures precisely secure the wheel.
If the initial positioning deviation is even minor, all subsequent processes will go wrong, as the turntable rotates. The cutting tools in the vertical tool holder. The tools, weighing as much as a small car, contact high-speed metal. These are not ordinary cutting tools.
They use specialized carbide or ceramic blades.
Even when cutting hardened steel, the temperature is enough to melt butter. Cutting generates a huge force. This is why the UVF 12N machine frame needs to be as strong as a fortress. The integrated cast iron single piece ensures the rigidity required for precision machining. It's amazing how the machine works around the wheel. It will eventually form the perfect profile for tracks that will travel tens of thousands of kilometers. A computer numerical control system guides each movement, but the operator still needs to monitor the entire process, ready to adjust the feed and speed, depending on the cutting condition of the metal. The combination of automation and precision. The combination of precision technology and human judgment is the difference between good and excellent machining. This is a tradition that connects today's operators with machinists of all ages.
Those artisans who laid the foundation for the rise of American industry.
Plant. Here, we witness
the transformation of scrap metal into the steel that builds the world.
This isn't your grandfather's steel mill.
Well, anyone who's worked in a steel town will recognize the basic principles.
Steel cities of Pennsylvania or Ohio. In their heyday, the whole process starts in an electric arc furnace. This modern marvel replaces the traditional blast furnace.
Scrap steel, carefully sorted by grade and composition, is loaded into a giant container. When electricity ignites an arc,
temperatures high enough to vaporize steel erupt between the graphite electrodes and the scrap steel,
forming a vortex of molten metal exceeding 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
After melting, refining takes place through the precise addition of alloying elements. The liquid steel flows into the continuous casting machine. This is where the real magic happens. The liquid metal enters water-cooled copper molds, solidifying from the outside, forming a shell strong enough to be pulled by rollers, while the center remains liquid. When the steel billet is shaped, it has cooled into rectangular billets. Automated cutting devices precisely divide the hot metal, as warm as its cheese. These billets then enter the soaking furnace, reheated to forging temperature in a controlled atmosphere, preventing oxidation and surface scaling. Temperature uniformity is crucial here. Ensure that the entire cross-section temperature is consistent before rolling. The hot billets enter the rolling mill. This is the power and precision of modern steel manufacturing. After a series of rolling mills, the gap between each roller gradually narrows. The steel is squeezed and stretched, from thick square billets to long, thin strips. The force applied is huge, reaching thousands of tons. But the finished product tolerances are exceptionally precise. Water mist cools the steel between the rolling mills. The whole process is extremely fast, and it is very dangerous to watch up close without protection. The final product steel coils may be used for automotive parts or building reinforcement. They are wound on giant spools. Each steel coil maintains perfect uniformity of thickness and performance, ready to be shipped to manufacturers worldwide. The industrial efficiency we are witnessing was once thought impossible in the eyes of previous generations. However, it is built on metallurgical principles from thousands of years ago. Cura specializes in an absolutely fascinating niche: hot forging. Forging steel components by combining immense pressure with incredible precision. What makes their operation particularly interesting is how they apply traditional forging techniques to produce complex automotive and industrial components in unimaginably high volumes. In the old days of small batch custom forging, the process began with billet bars, usually delivered in coils. Cut to precise lengths, these were then fed into an induction heating system. Induction heating, a technology that seems almost magical at first contact. No open flames, without combustion, yet in a matter of seconds, the steel billet in the induction coil turns cherry red, then orange, and finally bright yellow-white, indicating it's ready for forging. The secret lies in electromagnetic induction, discovered by Michael Faraday in 1831. But it wasn't applied to industrial heating until the early 20th century. Alternating current passing through the coil creates a rapidly changing magnetic field, inducing an electric current inside the billet. These currents generate heat through resistance. The process is fast, efficient, and highly controllable. After heating to the optimal forging temperature, typically between 2000 to 2300 degrees Fahrenheit, depending on the steel grade, the billet is moved to the forging press. CFT uses advanced closed die forging technology, placing the hot billet between two die cavities, which are engraved with a negative pattern of the target part. As the dies close with thousands of tons of force, the steel billet has nowhere to go but to fill every contour of the cavity. Excess material, called flash, is squeezed to the edges and then trimmed away. What's amazing is the speed and precision of modern forging presses. We're talking about machines completing a forging cycle in seconds, achieving dimensional accuracies that once required extensive machining. The dies themselves are engineering marvels, made of special tool steel to withstand thousands of forging cycles at extreme temperatures. Wear and tear is minimal. After forging, the components enter a strictly controlled cooling process. Some components are quenched in oil or water to achieve high hardness, while others undergo slow air cooling for enhanced toughness. Many components then enter tempering furnaces, reheated to a moderate temperature, and held for a specific time to relieve internal stresses, and achieve the optimal balance of hardness and ductility. We are witnessing the forging process evolving from blacksmithing to high-end technology manufacturing processes, still relying on the basic principle of shaping hot metal through force, but with a precision and consistency that old-time blacksmiths could only dream of. sense of satisfaction watching skilled craftsmen at work.
The video shows the construction of permeation systems for tanks and pressure relief valves.
The whole process begins with selecting and cutting steel plates. Modern machine shops use CNC technology. Plasma or laser cutting tables cut through thick steel plates with precision. Computerized patterns ensure minimal material waste. But before any cutting begins, careful nesting is required. Determining how to nest components maximizes steel plate use. This is an art that combines geometry, efficiency and the puzzle of material science. After cutting, the components enter the rolling and forming process. Tank shells usually need to be cylindrical. This means the flat plates must be rolled into curves. Using a 3-roller plate rolling machine similar to the one seen before, the edges of these rolled sections are then prepared for welding. Usually, bevel cutting is used to allow the weld to fully penetrate the material thickness. The welding process truly demonstrates the craftsmanship. Submerged arc welding is usually used for the main welds in tank manufacturing. The arc runs under a layer of granular flux, protecting the weld from atmospheric contamination,
while achieving deep penetration and high deposition rates.
Whether flat, concave, or hemispherical, will be installed and welded. Next is the real test, the hydrostatic test. The completed tank is filled with water and pressurized above the working pressure. To verify the structural integrity, any leaks or defects will appear here, rather than during service. This could lead to catastrophic consequences. The final steps include surface treatment and marking. Depending on the tank's use, special linings or anti-corrosion coatings may be required. We are witnessing the birth of infrastructure that could serve for decades.
Silent and reliable.
Finally, let's look at the Himalaya machinery 3-roll plate bending operation.
Because watching these machines turn flat plates into curves
Seems so effortless. 3-roll bending machines are one of those elegant engineering solutions that have remained essentially unchanged for the past century. Because, simply put, works perfectly.
The machine consists of 3 heavy rollers, arranged in a pyramid or triangular configuration.
The bottom 2 driven rollers grip and push the steel plate through the machine, while the top roller can be adjusted up and down hydraulically to provide the bending force. The beauty of this structure lies in its simplicity and efficiency.
By adjusting the pressure of the upper roller and making multiple passes,
the whole process is very spectacular, as the steel plate enters between the 2 rollers. As the rollers rotate, you can clearly see the plate gradually forming a curved surface, suitable for thick plates or small radius vents. Each pass needs to be repeated multiple times, gradually increasing the curvature each time. The machine can pre-bend the edges of the steel plate during the first pass, to ensure a uniform curvature along the entire length, with no flat defects at either end. Modern equipment, such as products from Himalaya Machinery, can handle steel plates of impressive specifications, with thicknesses of several inches and widths of several feet, precisely bent into cylindrical or conical shapes. The rollers themselves are made of precision ground hardened steel. They can maintain their shape stable under huge loads. This technology perfectly combines classic mechanical principles with modern control systems to create a tool that is both powerful and precise,
that can shape the steel that builds our world.